So, first of all, guys, thank you for coming into yesterday's webinar. I know we had a little technical difficulty in the beginning, but it was a lot of fun. I saw a ton of new faces, which is awesome. You know, as much as I like seeing, you guys come all the time. I've seen some new people trickle in that don't know much about trading and want to learn. Is really, really awesome because this webinar is geared towards people that need to get that kind of leg up. Like, how do you get started? You know, what are some tools and tricks you can use to really start making moves in your trading? So, make sure to check it. It'll be on YouTube already, right? So you can go on the Bulls on Wall Street YouTube and it'll be there. But in the meantime, let's chat a little bit about, there it is right there. Let's chat a little bit about some trading. So it's 10:30 in the morning. I took one trade today, but I want you guys to really get focused on this stuff, and because this is one of my bread and butters is, when you have a stock that gets hit with news, you have to react really quickly. And so, like, we took a trade today at Shop. So Shop's a stock that I trade all the time, but this thing got just hit with some news today. I didn't read the news. I don't care. As long as I know that the news is out there and it's creating a spike, I can go in and trade that news because, look, when you're trading technical analysis, right, and say you trade a pattern, well, that pattern has only so much it can really move, right? It's just technical analysis, supply, demand. So, if a stock's range is 3-4% that day, right, it's going to move a couple percent maybe out of a certain pattern. But what happens is when you have a technical analysis pattern and you're marrying it with some type of news, fresh news that's come out, you're going to get a surge in volume, and what it's going to do is give you a bigger push than you would just get on straight technicals alone. So like Shop is something that got hit with news in the morning. You can see it's already, so it's 1 hour into the day, it's already at 416% of its daily average in volume. So one of the things that I always look for is expanding volume, 6 million shares. And so, when this stock got hit with some news in the morning, and once again, I don't even know, right, I don't know what the news is or whatever. Usually for my stuff, like a light bulb will come up if the news is hit, or it'll show up on TC 2000. But you can see this thing's actually kind of ready, possibly ready for a short right now. But I'm done trading. I've already locked my account so I don't get the sticky fingers and come back. Anybody ever do that where they're done trading and then they kind of creep their way back to the computer and then they make a mistake and they're like, oh, my day is ruined, right? So I actually just lock my account and get out of it. But I would, if it wasn't locked, I would definitely probably be looking at something like that as a secondary play. But let's talk about the play that we made the money on. So right here, as this news came out, it spiked down to about 110. You can see what essentially happened is, I don't like to chase these things down the first candle, but what you'll start to see is as it pops, and see how it's like hanging out under its VWAP, you're essentially making like a big ORB pattern here. ORB pattern is just an opening range breakdown. And so, as this thing is hanging down under the VWAP, and I actually had to add it a couple times. I got like 112.40s as this thing was curling down. And then as it started to bust down, I added some more in the low 111s. And then as it just started to break down, it was essentially just cover some at support, cover some, cover some, cover some. I was literally, because the news came out and the volume was coming in so fast, I was covering this thing 50 shares at a time down here, just so I could elongate my gains. You don't necessarily know, like, how far it's going to go, but you have to have a daily idea. So, like, think smart, think out of the box of where a stock could go. So I could see from its daily chart here, right, that you've just got this support right here. And then I also have my 50 SMA, and so I've got 2 levels of support there. And so I want to be covering basically into that spot, right? And because that's going to be a bounce spot potentially. And so, you know, until it breaks below that area, now I probably wouldn't even look at it. But, you know, I want to be at the moment when it starts, it's got, you know, $20 to get down there, $18. But, you know, now once it taps there, you've got to let it kind of develop. But that's how you pick your targets, right? You look at stocks on multiple different time frames, and then you use a little bit of common sense in terms of, okay, this thing's getting a little extended, it's writing down its 9 EMA, or, you know, whatever it is that you might use, and you start covering up and you take your gains and you move on, right? No big home runs, just good solid trades. So always be mindful of that, right? News, wait for the pattern. Stocks with news have longer ranges, right? They have bigger ranges and more volume. And so you want to kind of marry those two together and we'll be good to go. Thank you for everybody for coming into the webinar. What is it, 10 days or 6 days? Boot camp starts next week, right? So not this one, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday, we're starting our 60-day boot camp, which is going to be awesome because it's a day trading, swing trading, boot camp, live classes, live trading. Part of what I do, even in boot camp, beyond just classes at night, is, you know, people have the option of watching me trade during the day. You know, they can go through their notes and watch me trade. I'm kind of here on screen share shredding in front of everybody, as is the norm, and it's kind of all encompassing. So hopefully I see you guys there, and if not, I'll definitely see you on the YouTube, and I'll also be live today on the cryptocurrencies, chatting a little bit about some trades today at 5. So you guys are going to have a lot of canal time today. So I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Thanks for watching. If you like that video, subscribe right here. If you want to watch more videos, click right there.